Hey everyone, it's that Math Magician. On this video, we're going to take a look at functions and we're going to see, can we evaluate an input for a given function? So let's jump right into this problem and notice that it says evaluate the function h when x equals positive 4 and negative 3. So we're actually going to want to evaluate this function twice at two different inputs, 4 and negative 3. And we see that our function h of x equals the square root of the quantity 6x plus 1. So let's jump right into this problem. Let's use our first input as positive 4. So everywhere I have an x, instead of writing that x value, instead I'm going to just write some parentheses for the moment because I'm changing our x variable. I'm saying now that x equals positive 4. So I want to know, what is h of 4? That's how we read that left side there. H of 4. My input is 4. What is that function going to spit out as its output? So everywhere I see an x, I now have a positive 4. And now we just have to simplify the right side of this equation. So I still have our radical sign. And underneath that, I'm going to have 6 times 4. Well, 6 times 4 gives us 24. And I still have to add 1 underneath the root sign there. And let's see, 24 plus 1, I think that's going to give us a value of positive 25. Last but not least, what is the square root of 25? Or what number times itself gives you 25? In this case, it ends up being 5. So what that means is h of 4, or read it this way. When 4 is my input, and I input that into the function h, our output ends up being 5. You did a really great job. That is how we evaluate our function h when x equals 4. Let's do this all one more time, but now instead of having our value equaling 4, our input being 4, it's now going to be negative 3. So again, one more time, let's rewrite that function. But instead, whoops, not a 4, it should be a 6 underneath there. Everywhere you see the x variable, we're now going to change that to be a negative 3. Awesome. Alrighty, same thing now. Our input is negative 3. We want to know what's our output going to be. So let's simplify that right side. I still have my square root symbol there. Inside I have 6 times negative 3. That will give us negative 18 plus 1 still. Underneath that radical, let's simplify. Negative 18 plus 1. I think that's going to give us negative 17. If you get tripped up over negatives and adding numbers, use a calculator for that, right? It's always going to be helpful. So now we're at the point where I want the square root of negative 17. And unfortunately, this is where this problem breaks down. We cannot take the square root of a negative number. It is impossible to know the square root of negative 17. There's no way for us at the moment to figure out that value. So what that means is when our function h is evaluated at the input of negative 3, the answer ends up being undefined. We usually write that UND. I'll write the whole word out this time just so you can see that word. It means that it is undefined. We don't know the output. The output does not exist. When I plug in a negative 3, our function machine here is breaking down, and we unfortunately don't have an answer. But that's okay because the answer is undefined. There is no output when our input is negative 3. Alrighty, you did a great job. It's that Math Magician, and I'll see you on the next video.